Smart women follow these 7 rules. Stop waiting for permission. No one is coming to hand you a golden ticket. Stop asking if you're qualified. You want it? Go after it. Speak up, even when your voice shakes. You know that moment when you hesitate, when you overthink? That's fear lying to you. Say what you mean, even if it's uncomfortable. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Toxic people, cut them out. Overcommitment, say no. Your energy is your power. Guard it fiercely. Bet on yourself even when no one else does. You don't need external validation to start. Success comes from taking action, not waiting for someone to believe in you first. Fail fast, learn faster, screw perfection. It's a trap. Smart women try, fail, adjust, and go again, because failure is just feedback. Make fear your co-pilot, not your driver. You'll never get rid of fear, but you can decide whether it controls you. Feel it, acknowledge it, then keep moving. Never dim your light to make others comfortable. If someone is threatened by your success, that's their problem. Shine brighter. Trust your gut. It's your superpower. That little voice, the nudge in your stomach, that's not just intuition, it's wisdom. Stop second-guessing yourself. You're sitting there waiting for someone to notice you, waiting for an invitation, waiting until you feel ready. But let me tell you something, that day is never coming. No one is going to knock on your door and say, hey, it's your turn now. You have to take your turn. Think about it. The most successful people you admire, they didn't sit around waiting for a green light. They just decided to start the business, ask for the raise, write the book, launch the idea. They weren't qualified when they began. They became qualified by starting. You keep telling yourself you need more time, more experience, more confidence. That's just fear disguised as logic. Fear will give you 1,000 reasons to stay in the waiting room of your own life. But here's the truth. You can't think your way into confidence. You have to act your way into it. Let me ask you this. What would you do right now if you weren't waiting for permission? If you didn't care whether you were 100% ready? If you stopped overthinking and just moved? Because that version of you, the one who goes for it, that's who you actually are. I get it. You don't want to fail. You don't want to look stupid. But let me tell you something. You're already failing if you let opportunities pass you by. You're already stuck if you refuse to take a risk. The only way forward is through action. Nobody is more special than you. The people out there crushing it, they weren't born with some magic permission slip. They just stopped waiting. They made one decision to bet on themselves, then another and another. That's it. That's the secret. You have everything you need. You're not missing a single thing. The only difference between you and the person living your dream life, they started before they felt ready. That's all. So stop asking if you belong in the room. Walk in like you do. Stop wondering if you're good enough. Act like you are. Because confidence isn't something you earn. It's something you build by showing up. Think about how much time you've wasted waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to go for it. Years? Decades? Imagine if you had started 5 years ago. Imagine where you'd be. Now realize this. 5 years from now, you'll wish you started today. You don't need permission. You never did. It was never theirs to give. It was yours all along. You know that moment, you have something to say, something important, something real, and right before the words leave your mouth, doubt creeps in. What if they judge me? What if I sound stupid? What if I get it wrong? That hesitation, that overthinking, that's fear lying to you. Your voice matters, your ideas matter, but if you let fear run the show, you'll spend your whole life swallowing your words, and guess what? Silence never changed anything. If you want to make an impact, if you want to be heard, you have to speak up. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, your voice might shake. Say it anyway. Power isn't about speaking when it's easy. It's about speaking when it's hard. The moment you push through that discomfort, you take back control. You train yourself to trust your own voice. How many times have you walked away from a conversation and replayed it in your head, thinking, I should have said something. I should have stood up for myself. I should have asked for what I wanted. That regret, that frustration, it's worse than any awkward moment of speaking up. You are not here to shrink yourself for other people's comfort. You are not here to play small. The world needs what you have to say, but no one can read your mind. No one will fight for your ideas the way you will. If you don't speak up, you are giving the world permission to ignore you. Fear will tell you to wait for the perfect moment. It will tell you to stay quiet until you're 100% sure. But here's the truth. Perfection is a myth and certainty is a lie. You don't need to be completely sure. You just need to be brave enough to start. You've been quiet for too long, and not because you don't have something to say, but because you've convinced yourself it's safer to stay silent. But staying silent is not protection. It's self-betrayal. And the longer you betray yourself, the harder it gets to remember who you are. Speaking up isn't just about using words. It's about owning your space. It's about backing yourself. It's about deciding that your voice is worth hearing, because it is, even if it shakes. Every time you speak up, you prove to yourself that you can. And that tiny moment of courage, it grows. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Before you know it, you're not just speaking up, you're owning the damn room. So the next time fear tries to shut you down, do it anyway. The next time your voice shakes, say it anyway. Because the people who change the world, they don't wait until they're fearless. They just speak. Your energy is everything. It's the fuel behind every decision, every action, every goal. And yet, most people give it away to the wrong people, the wrong commitments, the wrong priorities. They drain themselves dry and wonder why they feel stuck, exhausted, and resentful. You have to start treating your energy like your life depends on it, because guess what? It does. When your energy is gone, your focus is gone. Your motivation is gone. Your ability to show up for yourself, gone. Protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's necessary. Toxic people, cut them out. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The ones who leave you feeling drained every time you interact with them. The ones who take, and never give. You do not owe anyone unlimited access to your time or your emotions. If someone costs you your peace, they're too expensive. Overcommitment? Say no. Every time you say yes to something you don't want to do, you're saying no to yourself. You're saying no to rest, no to your dreams, no to the things that actually matter. Stop prioritizing other people's comfort over your own well-being. You are allowed to say, I can't, I won't, that doesn't work for me. And guess what? You don't have to explain yourself. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. Some people are meant to be in the audience, watching from a distance. If someone constantly drains you, love them from afar. If a situation depletes you, walk away. If something feels like an obligation instead of an opportunity, it's not for you. Your energy is a limited resource. Every time you waste it on things that don't serve you, you have less for the things that do. Think about it. What would change if you started spending your energy intentionally? What if you gave your best self to the things that actually move you forward instead of the things that hold you back? This is your wake-up call. Stop letting energy vampires steal your power. Stop staying in situations that drain you out of guilt. Stop believing that you have to be everything for everyone. You don't. You have one job: to take care of yourself first so you can show up fully for what matters. And listen, protecting your energy isn't just about who you avoid. It's also about what you allow. Choose people who inspire you. Choose work that excites you. Choose habits that recharge you. The more intentional you are with your energy, the more unstoppable you become. Start today. Cut what drains you, keep what fuels you, and watch how everything changes. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you permission, give you a gold star, or tell you, yes, you're ready, go for it. If you're waiting for someone to believe in you before you start, you'll be waiting forever. Bet on yourself now. Most people don't take action because they're looking for validation first. They want a sign, a guarantee, a safety net. But that's not how success works. You don't earn belief from others. You create it by proving to yourself that you can. And that only happens when you start, even when no one else sees your vision. Think about it. Every single person who ever did something great was doubted at the beginning. Oprah? Rejected. Walt Disney? Told he lacked creativity. The biggest names in history, They all had people who didn't believe in them, but they didn't stop. They didn't wait. They bet on themselves first. So here's the question. Are you willing to back yourself? Are you willing to show up even when no one is clapping? Are you willing to take risks even when people doubt you? Because the moment you decide to stop waiting for permission, everything changes. Fear will try to convince you that you need more time, more validation, more proof. You don't. The only way to create proof is to start moving. Action builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds results. And before you know it, you're not looking for belief. You are the belief. The truth is, no one is thinking about you as much as you think they are. Everyone's too busy worrying about their own lives. So stop making decisions based on what people might say. Stop holding yourself back because someone doesn't see your potential. Your future is not up for debate. Perfection is a lie. It's a trap designed to keep you stuck, overthinking and waiting for the right moment that never comes. The people who win in life, they don't chase perfection. They chase progress. They try, fail, adjust, and go again because they know failure is just feedback. Most people are terrified of failing. They think it means they're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable. But the truth? Failure is proof you're in the game. It means you're doing something. The only real failure is standing still, waiting, playing it safe. Look around at the most successful people you know. Do you think they got there without messing up? Without hearing no 100 times? Without embarrassing themselves? Not a chance. They got there because they failed fast and learned faster. You will never have it all figured out before you start. And that's the point. You learn by doing. You grow by getting it wrong, fixing it, and going again. Every mistake is a lesson. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. The only way you actually lose is if you quit. Think about how much time you've wasted trying to get everything just right before making a move. Imagine if instead of overthinking, you just took the first step. Imagine where you'd be now if you started failing sooner. The fastest way to get better at anything, do it badly first. Write the bad draft. Launch the messy idea. Take the awkward first step. You will cringe. You will want to delete everything and pretend it never happened. Keep going. That's how you build resilience. That's how you get better. Stop trying to avoid failure and start collecting it. Wear your failures like battle scars. Every single one means you were brave enough to try. Most people never even get that far. Most people are too scared to step up. Not you. Failure doesn't define you. What defines you is what you do next. Adjust, learn, try again. Every mistake brings you closer. Every wrong turn sharpens your instincts. Every misstep teaches you what works and what doesn't. So the next time you fail, celebrate it. It means you're in motion. It means you're learning, and the person who learns the fastest wins. Fear isn't going anywhere. You can't outthink it, outrun it, or wait for it to magically disappear. If you're waiting to feel ready, waiting to not be scared anymore, you're going to be waiting forever. Fear doesn't leave. But guess what? It doesn't have to drive. Most people let fear run the show. They let it make their decisions, hold them back, keep them small, and they wonder why they feel stuck. Fear will always tell you to play it safe, to sit down, be quiet, and stay in your comfort zone. But here's the truth. Everything you want exists outside of that zone. Successful people don't have less fear. They just don't let it make their choices for them. They feel it, acknowledge it, and move anyway. They've learned that fear is just a reflex. It's your brain trying to protect you from something new. It doesn't mean stop. It means pay attention and then step forward. Think about this. What would you do if fear wasn't holding the wheel? What dream would you chase? What risk would you take? What version of yourself would you finally become? That version of you, she's already in there. You just have to stop letting fear talk her out of showing up. Here's the deal. Fear isn't proof you're on the wrong path. It's proof you're stretching. It's proof you're growing. The only people who feel no fear are the ones who aren't doing anything new. And that's not going to be you. So the next time fear pipes up and tells you to stop, say, thanks for your input, but I've got this. Buckle it in the passenger seat, but don't let it touch the controls. You're driving. You get to decide where you go. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be braver than your fear. And that's a choice you make every single day. You were not put on this earth to play small. You were not given your talent, your ideas, your ambition just to dim them down because someone else feels uncomfortable. That's not your problem. Your job is to shine. Too many people shrink themselves to fit in. They downplay their success so they don't seem too much. They hold back their opinions so they don't make waves. They tone themselves down so others won't feel insecure. But here's the truth. If your light makes someone uncomfortable, that's on them. You don't owe anyone a smaller version of yourself. The right people, the ones who truly support you, will celebrate your growth. The ones who can't handle it, they were never meant to sit at your table in the first place. Think about how many times you've dimmed your light, how many times you've held back. And for what? To make someone else feel better? To avoid standing out? To keep from being judged? Stop. You are not here to be invisible. When you shrink, you send a message to yourself and to the world that you don't believe you're worthy of taking up space. And that's a lie. You belong in every room you step into. You deserve to take up space, to be seen, to be heard. The people who change the world, the ones who inspire others, they don't apologize for shining. They own it. And when they do, they give other people permission to do the same. Your light isn't just for you. It's for everyone watching, waiting, needing proof that they can shine too. So here's the challenge. Stand tall. Speak louder. Celebrate yourself. Stop dimming your brilliance to fit into places you've already outgrown. If someone has a problem with your success, let them. It has nothing to do with you. Your light was never meant to be hidden. Turn it all the way up. You already know, you've always known that little voice in your gut, that feeling in your stomach. It's not just a random thought. It's wisdom. It's years of experience, instincts, and subconscious knowledge screaming at you to listen. And yet, how many times have you ignored it? You talk yourself out of what you know to be true. You second guess, you overthink, you ask 10 people for their opinions, when deep down you already had the answer. And every time you ignore it, every time you override your gut, you betray yourself a little more. Your gut isn't loud. It doesn't beg for attention like fear does. It's a quiet nudge, a whisper, a knowing. It's the discomfort in your stomach when something's off. It's the sudden clarity when something's right. And it's never wrong. Think back to every time you knew you should have walked away from something, but didn't. Every time you felt something was off, but ignored it. Every time you stayed when you should have left, said yes when you should have said no. Your gut wasn't wrong. You just didn't trust it. The smartest, most successful people in the world don't make decisions based on logic alone. They trust their instincts. They feel the pull and they move. No over-explaining, no waiting for proof, just trust. You don't need more opinions. You don't need another pros and cons list. You don't need to explain why you feel what you feel. You just need to listen. When something is right for you, you'll feel it. When something is wrong, you'll feel that too. Stop questioning it. The women you surround yourself with, they will make or break you. You need women who push you, who challenge you, who clap the loudest when you win, because let's be real. Not everyone wants to see you succeed. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The ones who smile to your face but secretly hope you fail. The ones who get quiet when you share good news. The ones who only support you as long as you don't outgrow them. Let them go. That's not your circle. Your circle should inspire you. You need women who call you out when you're playing small. Women who challenge you to do better, think bigger, go harder. Women who don't let you settle for less than you deserve. Look around. Who are the 5 women you spend the most time with? Do they push you forward or hold you back? Do they cheer for you or do they compete with you? Because energy is contagious. If you're surrounded by women who complain, shrink, and settle, guess what? You'll start doing the same. But when you're in a room full of powerful women, women who take risks, chase dreams, and refuse to apologize for their success, that energy will change your life. Real women don't dim your light. They add to it. They don't get jealous. They get inspired. They don't tear you down. They lift you higher. Find those women. Keep them close. Be one of those women. And listen, when you win, pay attention to who claps. The real ones won't just celebrate you. They'll remind you that this is only the beginning. There will never be a perfect time. Read that again. Never. You're waiting for the right moment, the perfect conditions, the sign from the universe. It's not coming. The only thing standing between you and what you want is you. How many times have you said, I'll do it when I'm ready? I'll start when I have more time. I just need to figure everything out first. Stop. That's fear talking. It's lying to you, convincing you that hesitation is wisdom. It's not. It's a stall tactic. You don't need more time. You don't need more preparation. You don't need another plan. You need to start. Success isn't about knowing every step. It's about having the guts to take the first one. Think about it. Every person you admire, every success story you've heard, they weren't ready either. They just jumped. They figured it out on the way down. They made mistakes, adjusted, kept moving, and that's why they made it. You can sit here and overthink every possible outcome, or you can take the damn leap, apply for the job, start the business, say yes to the opportunity, speak up in the meeting, make the move. You don't need permission. You just need to go. Here's the truth. If you wait until you're 100% ready, you'll never do it. Fear will always find another excuse, another delay, another reason to stay stuck. The only way to beat it, move before you feel ready. So this is it. Your moment. No more waiting, no more stalling, no more overthinking. Jump. The net? It's built while you fall. And trust me, you'll never regret leaping. You'll only regret not doing it sooner. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. You decide. You decide if you're going to keep playing small or step into the life you deserve. You decide if fear wins or if you do. You decide whether you let self-doubt and excuses hold you back or if you finally bet on yourself. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you confidence, success, or permission. It's on you. And that's a good thing because that means you have the power to change everything. Smart women don't wait. They move. They speak up when it's uncomfortable. They trust their gut, even when no one else understands. They cut out the noise, protect their energy, and surround themselves with people who push them forward. And when fear shows up, because it always will, they keep going anyway. You don't have to be fearless. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you do have to start. You have to fail, learn, adjust, and keep moving. Because success isn't about perfection. It's about momentum. And every single step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to the life you were meant to live. Look around. The world doesn't need more women waiting for permission. It needs more women taking up space, speaking up, going after what they want. It needs more women who refuse to dim their light to make others comfortable. And that starts with you. So this is it. Your reminder, your wake-up call, your permission slip, if you still think you need one. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Go all in. Your life is happening right now. And the only question left, are you going to show up for it